It's 3 a.m. and you're lying in bed, heart pounding so hard you can feel it in your throat. Your mind is racing through every possible scenario of what could go wrong tomorrow, next week, next month. Your chest feels tight, like someone is sitting on it, making each breath shallow and unsatisfying. Your palms are sweaty, your stomach is in knots, and that familiar wave of dread washes over you again. You've been here before, countless nights, wondering if this suffocating feeling will ever go away. The worst part? Everyone around you seems to have it all figured out while you're drowning in your own thoughts, putting on a brave face during the day but falling apart the moment you're alone. If this sounds like your reality, if you're tired of anxiety controlling your life, stealing your peace, and robbing you of the joy you deserve, then what I'm about to share could be the turning point you've been desperately searching for. Today, we're diving deep into something most people never hear about: revolutionary approaches that don't require expensive therapy or harsh medications. Simple yet powerful strategies that can help you reclaim your life, starting right now. You know what? If you're watching this, you're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready for real change, real solutions that actually work. I want you to know that this channel is your safe space, a place where we don't judge, we don't minimize your struggle, and we certainly don't tell you to just think positive thoughts and hope for the best. Here, we share evidence-based, natural approaches to healing anxiety that respect both your intelligence and your pain. We believe in your strength, even when you don't feel strong, and we're committed to walking this journey with you, one practical step at a time. If you're ready to discover accessible, natural ways to find relief, to learn techniques that can calm your nervous system and restore your sense of control, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because together we're going to transform how you experience life. Before we dive in, I'm genuinely curious about something. Drop a comment below and let me know what city or country you're watching from right now. I love connecting with our amazing community from all over the world, and knowing where you are makes this feel so much more personal and real. Also, if you have any questions about what we'll cover today, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I read every single one and often create future videos based on your suggestions. And hey, if this video helps you in any way, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you never miss our latest insights and techniques for natural anxiety relief. Let me start with something that might completely change how you think about anxiety. Your nervous system, that intricate network of nerves that controls everything from your heartbeat to your breathing, operates like a finely tuned security system. When it detects what it perceives as danger, whether real or imagined, it floods your body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This response, which served our ancestors well when facing actual physical threats, now gets triggered by modern stressors like work deadlines, relationship conflicts, or even that notification sound on your phone. The problem is that your nervous system can't tell the difference between a charging bear and an overwhelming to-do list. Both scenarios activate the same fight-or-flight response, leaving you feeling wired, exhausted, and constantly on edge. What's fascinating is that this system has memory. Every time you experience anxiety, your nervous system creates a pathway, like a well-worn trail in the forest. The more you walk that trail, the easier it becomes to find again. This is why anxiety can feel so automatic, so out of your control. Your brain, in its attempt to protect you, becomes hypersensitive to potential threats, scanning your environment constantly for signs of danger. But here's the revolutionary part that most people never learn. Just as these pathways were created, they can be rewired. Your brain has an incredible capacity for neuroplasticity, meaning it can form new neural connections throughout your entire life. This isn't just hopeful thinking, this is scientific fact backed by decades of research. The key lies in understanding that anxiety isn't something that happens to you. It's something your nervous system does in response to perceived threats. And once you understand this fundamental truth, you can begin to work with your nervous system rather than against it. They're powerful tools that address anxiety at its root, helping you create new neural pathways that promote calm, clarity, and resilience. These methods have helped thousands of people break free from the cycle of chronic worry and reclaim their lives. And they can work for you too, regardless of how long you've been struggling or how severe your anxiety feels right now. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this question. When was the last time you felt truly calm and at peace in your body? Can you even remember? For many people dealing with anxiety, that feeling seems like a distant memory or something that only exists for other people. But what if I told you that state of calm is your natural birthright, and that with the right approach, you can return to it more often than you ever imagined? Here's something that might surprise you. Anxiety often starts in the body before it reaches the mind. Those physical sensations, the tight chest, the racing heart, the shallow breathing, these are often the first signs that your nervous system is shifting into high alert mode. Let me share something that changed everything for me and countless others I've worked with. I want you to comment below and tell me I'm ready to feel calm in my body again. Don't just read those words, actually type them out. When you write these words, you're not just participating in a video, you're making a declaration to yourself and to this community that supports you. Your comment also helps other people who are reading through the comments feel less alone in their struggle. Sometimes seeing that simple statement from someone else is exactly what a person needs to feel understood and hopeful. So please, take a moment right now and share that with us. Your courage to engage might be the lifeline someone else needs today. The first breakthrough approach involves understanding the profound connection between your breath and your emotional state. Most people don't realize that the way you breathe directly influences how you feel. When you're anxious, your breathing naturally becomes shallow, rapid, and confined to your upper chest. This type of breathing actually signals to your brain that you're in danger, perpetuating the cycle of anxiety. But when you consciously shift to deep diaphragmatic breathing, you send a completely different message to your nervous system. You're essentially telling your brain that you're safe, that there's no immediate threat, and that it can begin to relax. This isn't just about taking a few deep breaths when you feel anxious, though that can certainly help in acute moments. This is about retraining your breathing patterns throughout the day so that deep, calming breaths become your default rather than the shallow, anxious breathing that keeps your nervous system on high alert. The diaphragm, that dome-shaped muscle beneath your lungs, is like the conductor of your nervous system orchestra. When you breathe deeply into your belly, engaging your diaphragm fully, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest, relaxation, and restoration. Research has shown that just 5 minutes of conscious breathing can lower cortisol levels, reduce blood pressure, and increase the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter that promotes feelings of calm and well-being. Think about how powerful that is. In just 5 minutes, using nothing but the breath you already have, you can begin to shift your internal chemistry from stress to serenity. The beauty of this approach is that your breath is always with you. You don't need special equipment, you don't need to wait for the right circumstances, and you don't need anyone else's permission to start feeling better. But here's where most people get it wrong. They try to force their breathing to change all at once, which can actually increase anxiety. The key is to work with your natural rhythm, gradually extending your exhales and allowing your inhales to deepen naturally. When you exhale longer than you inhale, you're directly stimulating the vagus nerve, that crucial pathway that connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. A healthy vagus nerve is essential for emotional regulation, and breathing techniques are one of the most effective ways to strengthen what researchers call vagal tone. What does this look like in practical terms? Start by simply noticing your breath without trying to change it. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Most anxious people will notice that their upper hand moves much more than their lower hand. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From this awareness, you can begin to gently encourage more movement in your belly hand by imagining you're breathing into your lower back, your sides, even your pelvis. This isn't about perfection. It's about progression and developing a new relationship with your own breath. The second powerful approach involves understanding how your environment directly impacts your nervous system and learning to create spaces that naturally promote calm rather than trigger anxiety. Most people don't realize how much their surroundings affect their mental state. Your nervous system is constantly processing thousands of pieces of sensory information, from the lighting in your room to the sounds around you, from the temperature of the air to the visual clutter in your space. All of these factors either support your sense of safety and calm or contribute to feelings of overwhelm and anxiety. Think about the difference between how you feel in a cluttered, chaotic space versus how you feel in a clean, organized, peaceful environment. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about neuroscience. Your brain is always scanning for threats, and a disorganized environment can subconsciously signal chaos and unpredictability, keeping your nervous system in a state of mild activation. On the other hand, when your environment feels organized, clean, and intentionally designed, your brain receives the message that things are under control, allowing your nervous system to relax. This doesn't mean you need to completely overhaul your living space overnight or spend money you don't have on expensive decor. Small, intentional changes can make a significant difference. Consider the lighting in your main living areas. Harsh, fluorescent lighting can increase cortisol production and make you feel more on edge, while warm, soft lighting promotes the production of melatonin and creates a more calming atmosphere. Natural light is ideal when possible. But when you need artificial lighting, choose warm tone bulbs that mimic the gentle light of sunrise or sunset. Sound is another crucial factor that most people overlook. Constant background noise from traffic, neighbors, or electronic devices creates what researchers call chronic acoustic stress, keeping your nervous system in a low-level state of activation throughout the day. This doesn't mean you need complete silence, which can actually feel unsettling to some people. Instead, consider incorporating soothing sounds that mask harsh noises and promote relaxation. The sound of gentle rain, ocean waves, or even a quiet fan can create what's called pink noise, which has been shown to improve sleep quality and reduce anxiety. Your sense of smell is directly connected to the limbic system, the part of your brain that processes emotions and memories. This is why certain scents can instantly transport you to a different emotional state. Essential oils like lavender, bergamot, and frankincense have been shown to have anxiolytic properties, meaning they naturally reduce anxiety. You don't need to become an aromatherapy expert. Simply having a small diffuser with 1 or 2 calming scents can make a noticeable difference in how you feel in your space. Temperature regulation is another often overlooked factor. When your body is too warm, it can mimic the physical sensations of anxiety, making you feel more agitated and uncomfortable. Conversely, when you're too cold, your body has to work harder to maintain its core temperature, which can be subtly stressful. Finding your optimal temperature range and maintaining it consistently can significantly impact your overall sense of well-being and emotional regulation. The third revolutionary approach focuses on the powerful connection between movement and mental health, specifically how the right kinds of physical activity can literally rewire your brain for greater calm and resilience. This isn't about intense workouts that leave you exhausted or complicated exercise routines that feel overwhelming when you're already struggling with anxiety. This is about understanding how gentle, intentional movement can become one of your most powerful allies in managing anxiety naturally.
When you move your body, even in simple ways, you're doing something profound for your nervous system. Physical movement helps metabolize stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, essentially giving your body a way to complete the stress response cycle that anxiety often leaves unfinished. Think about animals in the wild. When a gazelle escapes from a predator, it doesn't just stop running and immediately start grazing again. It literally shakes off the stress, allowing its nervous system to discharge the excess energy and return to a state of calm alertness. Humans have lost this natural instinct to discharge stress through movement, which is one reason why anxiety can feel so stuck and persistent in our bodies. But when you consciously incorporate movement that helps release this trapped energy, you give your nervous system permission to complete its natural cycle and return to baseline. This doesn't require hour-long gym sessions or high-intensity workouts that might actually increase anxiety in some people. Simple, rhythmic movements like walking, gentle stretching, or even shaking your hands and feet can be incredibly effective. Research has shown that just 20 minutes of moderate movement can increase the production of endorphins, your body's natural feel-good chemicals, while also boosting levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports the growth of new neural connections. This means that regular, gentle movement isn't just helping you feel better in the moment, it's actually changing your brain in ways that support long-term emotional resilience and well-being. One of the most effective forms of movement for anxiety is walking, particularly walking in nature. There's something called the soft fascination of natural environments that allows your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive function and emotional regulation, to rest and restore itself. When you're constantly focused on tasks, problems, and worries, this part of your brain becomes fatigued, making it harder to regulate emotions and maintain perspective. Walking in nature provides the perfect opportunity for this mental reset. But even if you don't have access to natural spaces, walking anywhere can be beneficial. The key is to make it mindful, rather than using walking time to ruminate or worry. Focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, the temperature of the air on your skin. This kind of mindful walking becomes a moving meditation that calms your nervous system while also providing the physical benefits of movement. Stretching and gentle yoga are also incredibly powerful for anxiety management. When you're anxious, your muscles naturally tense up, particularly in your neck, shoulders, and jaw. This physical tension sends signals back to your brain that reinforce feelings of stress and anxiety. By consciously releasing this tension through gentle stretching, you break this feedback loop and help your entire system relax. You don't need to be flexible or experienced to benefit from gentle stretching. Simple movements like rolling your shoulders, gently turning your head from side to side, or reaching your arms overhead can make a significant difference. The key is to breathe deeply while you stretch and to pay attention to the sensations in your body. This kind of mindful walking becomes a moving meditation that calms your nervous system while also providing the physical benefits of movement. The fourth transformative approach involves understanding the crucial role that sleep plays in anxiety management and learning how to optimize your sleep for maximum emotional regulation and resilience. Most people don't realize that poor sleep and anxiety create a vicious cycle that can be extremely difficult to break without the right strategies. When you don't get quality sleep, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, becomes hyperactive, making you more reactive to stress and more likely to interpret neutral situations as threatening. At the same time, anxiety makes it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep, creating a cycle that can feel impossible to escape. Quality sleep isn't just about the number of hours you spend in bed. It's about the depth and restorative quality of your sleep cycles. During deep sleep, your brain literally cleans itself, clearing out toxins and metabolic waste that accumulate during waking hours. This process, called the glymphatic system, is crucial for maintaining optimal brain function and emotional regulation. When this natural cleaning process is disrupted by poor sleep, you're more likely to experience brain fog, emotional reactivity, and increased anxiety the following day.
Your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, plays a crucial role in this process. This rhythm is regulated by light exposure, meal timing, temperature fluctuations, and activity patterns. When your circadian rhythm is disrupted, it affects the production of hormones like melatonin, which promotes sleep, and cortisol, which should naturally rise in the morning and fall in the evening. Many people with anxiety have disrupted cortisol patterns, with levels remaining high in the evening when they should be dropping, making it difficult to wind down and prepare for sleep. Creating a consistent evening routine that supports your natural circadian rhythm can dramatically improve both your sleep quality and your overall anxiety levels.
This routine should begin several hours before your intended bedtime and should signal to your nervous system that it's time to shift from the active, alert state of daytime into the calm, restorative state necessary for quality sleep. Temperature regulation is one of the most overlooked aspects of sleep optimization. Your body temperature naturally drops in the evening as part of your circadian rhythm, and this cooling process is actually a signal to your brain to begin producing melatonin. If your bedroom is too warm, you're fighting against this natural process, making it much harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. The ideal bedroom temperature for most people is between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, though individual preferences may vary slightly. Light exposure is another critical factor. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and televisions suppresses melatonin production, effectively telling your brain that it's still daytime and time to be alert. This doesn't mean you need to avoid all screens after sunset, but it does mean being more intentional about your evening light exposure. Consider using blue light blocking glasses, switching your devices to night mode, or better yet, establishing a screen-free period before bed, where you engage in calming activities like reading, gentle stretching, or meditation. The fifth powerful approach centers on nutrition and how the foods you eat directly impact your brain chemistry, nervous system function, and overall anxiety levels. Your gut and brain are connected through what's called the gut-brain axis, a bidirectional communication system that means what happens in your digestive system directly influences your mood, emotions, and anxiety levels. This connection is so strong that researchers often refer to the gut as the second brain, as it contains more neurotransmitter receptors than your actual brain. When your gut microbiome is out of balance, often due to poor diet, chronic stress, or antibiotic use, it can lead to increased inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. This neuroinflammation has been directly linked to increased anxiety, depression, and other mood disorders. On the flip side, when you eat foods that support a healthy gut microbiome and provide your brain with the nutrients it needs to produce calming neurotransmitters, you're directly supporting your mental health and emotional well-being. Certain nutrients are particularly important for anxiety management. Magnesium, often called nature's relaxation mineral, is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, including those that regulate your nervous system and stress response. Unfortunately, magnesium deficiency is incredibly common, especially among people dealing with chronic stress and anxiety. Foods rich in magnesium include leafy green vegetables, nuts and seeds, dark chocolate, and whole grains. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, are crucial for brain health and have been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects that can reduce anxiety symptoms. These healthy fats help maintain the fluidity of cell membranes in your brain, supporting optimal neurotransmitter function and communication between brain cells. The best sources of omega-3s are fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, but you can also get them from walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and folate, are essential for the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, both of which promote feelings of calm and well-being. Deficiencies in these vitamins have been linked to increased anxiety and mood disorders. Good sources include leafy greens, legumes, eggs, and nutritional yeast.
What you avoid eating can be just as important as what you include. Caffeine, while not inherently bad, can exacerbate anxiety symptoms in sensitive individuals by stimulating the release of stress hormones and increasing heart rate and blood pressure. If you're dealing with anxiety, consider reducing your caffeine intake or switching to lower caffeine alternatives like green tea, which also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation. Refined sugars and processed foods can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes that mimic and worsen anxiety symptoms. When your blood sugar drops rapidly after a sugar spike, your body releases stress hormones like adrenaline to try to stabilize glucose levels. This process can trigger physical sensations that feel identical to anxiety, including rapid heartbeat, sweating, and feelings of panic or dread.
Alcohol, while often used as a way to cope with anxiety, can actually make anxiety worse over time. While it may provide temporary relief, alcohol disrupts sleep quality, depletes important nutrients like magnesium and B vitamins, and can lead to rebound anxiety as it leaves your system. If you're using alcohol to manage anxiety, it's worth exploring other coping strategies and potentially seeking support to develop healthier habits. As we wrap up this comprehensive exploration of natural anxiety management strategies, I want to remind you that healing from anxiety isn't about perfection or implementing all of these approaches at once. It's about progress, self-compassion, and finding the combination of strategies that works best for your unique situation and lifestyle. Every small step you take towards supporting your nervous system and overall well-being matters, even if it doesn't feel dramatic or immediate. Remember that your anxiety, while uncomfortable and challenging, is not a sign of weakness or failure. It's your nervous system's attempt to protect you, even when that protection feels overwhelming or unnecessary. By understanding how your nervous system works and learning to work with it rather than against it, you're taking back your power and creating space for the calm, peaceful life you deserve. The strategies we've explored today, from conscious breathing and environmental optimization to mindful movement, sleep hygiene, and nutritional support, are all evidence-based approaches that have helped countless people find relief from chronic anxiety. But remember, everyone's journey is different, and what works best for you might be a unique combination of these approaches tailored to your specific needs and circumstances. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Your engagement helps us reach more people who are struggling with anxiety and looking for natural, accessible solutions. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss our future videos on natural health and wellness strategies. Most importantly, be patient and gentle with yourself as you explore these new approaches. Healing takes time, and progress isn't always linear. There will be good days and challenging days, and that's completely normal and part of the process. What matters is that you keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep believing in your capacity to feel better. You have everything within you to create the peaceful, calm life you're seeking. Trust the process, trust yourself, and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating.